Well, what we're going to talk about is being here in the UK versus being in Algeria, because it's sort of, that's because our podcast, Hadjer, is all about the how our being Algerian and being from that sort of background, how could that impact on your lifestyle in the UK, whether you can integrate or not? Because what I personally believe that a lot of us Algerians, we fail. That's because of our mentality. It's not because we lack the skills. We do have the skills, but we don't have the character to fit in such a country. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're going to bring in. What do you think?
I love the topic. I love the message.
You know what I'm saying?
And I love, it's not a comparison. It's just an idea of, to get to understand why people perform better in outside country.
Thank you.
Like, why would we perform when we come here? You know, you're rocking it and you don't mind working any job. Whereas if you're in Algeria, which is your own country, same personality, right? Same mentality, but you just refuse to do the bare minimum.
I think that all goes back to the environments you live within. You know what I mean? In Algeria, there's a lot of waste men around there. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Why?
I think a majority of us, like, I think 60% of the youth in Algeria, they tend to be very emotional people. Huh?
Do I agree? Do I disagree? I think this might be right, but a study shows that we never really show our emotions. Algerians, right? Like, look, if you ask me how many times your mom has told you, I love you, never.
No, I've never heard that from my mom.
Never.
Nor my father. Yeah, that's actually facts. You don't even hear it from a husband and a wife.
That's
Rarely
true.
as well.
That's correct. I agree.
But why is that? It's because it has not been passed on, right?
Yeah.
So if you see it in the family, you will be able to accept it and you think it's the norm. But because you've never seen it, you've only seen the opposite, which is what? The violence sometimes, right? Which is also portrayed in TV. Like, hey, we watch Algerian TV shows all the time. In Algeria, the TV shows, it's really okay to see a beating, to see whatever, but you barely see that moment where someone just says, I love you.
I think that goes back
person.
to our culture and as a part of our religion as well. Well, I'm not saying our religion
culture,
is actually saying do not do that or do not say that, but we have what we call Hdjer a lot. Do you know what I mean? احنا شعبية هكا يستحيا بزاف. Do you get me? So if you say to someone like,
But is that in Islam?
huh?
No, it's not.
Exactly.
It's
So
not, right?
No, it's not.
that's it. I don't really want to talk about that sort of topic, right? Religion and all that. But there's a lot of mess when it comes whether these things are from religion or culture. You know what I mean? But still, like as Arabs or Berbers or whatever you call us, as people from an Islamic background, you know what I mean? Islam is not only our religion. Islam, it became our identity by time. It became our culture. So you can be like, Hamara, you're Muslim, yeah. Tomorrow you decide not to be Muslim. People will still see you Muslim the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? Because the way you live.
Yeah.
So these things, they just became like, though they're not anti-Islam, but they are still anti our culture. Like, we don't really share these moments publicly.
No.
I mean, I have never, like, my dad never told me I love you. Never.
Listen,
Never had it from him.
I
Until now.
I know. I never witnessed my father kissing my mom. I never
You will never
witnessed
see
that.
it.
Okay, that's a big one. That's a big one.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
an anti-Islam thing.
No,
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
His wife.
I don't
you know.
think so. You can still show affection.
I don't think so. I don't think you can.
No, you can still show affection.
Really?
You can. Yeah, you can still show affection because, you know, like if you want your kids to, well, and again, there is what type? Like there's a spectrum, right? You know what I mean? We're not taking it too far. So, but I mean, just hugs or a normal, like some sort of affection every now and then, I don't think it hurts. I have seen my dad give my mom hugs. I've seen my dad Allah yarhamou, like just, you know, watch TV and go on dates. You know, they would drop us at our grandparents, and they would just go on dates. I've seen them do that.
That's a bit rare.
nice.
That's nice, right?
That's rare.
That's never happened in my family.
Yeah, me too. That's rare. That's rare.
So I'm so glad that I've seen that. I've witnessed it. And I think that's the reason why I like a bit of affection.
Okay.
Because he was the person he was the most affectionate one in my family. And I got it from him. So when he passed away, I was 14. So all of a sudden, it stopped.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
He had a huge impact on
Absolutely.
the family.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's the power of the father.
He was. He is. He still is.
Yeah.
Because everything he did, everyone loved him. He would joke about everything, even when he was ill. He was 42 and he passed away, so he was very young.
Right.
But he would be the person who would show you affection. He would be the person who would pick you up if you have any problem. He would be the person who encourages you. He would be the person who tells you, no, you can always do it. You know, all
Right.
by keeping a huge smile on his face. So I think it's different families, different backgrounds, different cultures, different environments, different cities, different areas would have different upbringings and impact on their children.
True. For you, Hadjer, you were like, so you came here when did you come to the UK?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Right. So 2013, you were still in, what was that? In Algiers, right?
Salombi.
What
That's
made
where
you
I'm
think
from.
to come here to the UK? What made you think to come to the UK?
Do you know what?
Why the UK?
Why the UK? I've never.
It was the only
thought-
option.
No. I've never thought I would step into the UK. Never thought.
Right.
And I'm probably going to be a little bit emotional in this podcast.
Okay, go on.
Is that okay?
Be as
ahead.
emotional as that.
Okay, because I'm very personal. So I share emotions. Like, you know, like that's who I am. So I am a person who used to try to push everything away. So I was trying to run away from responsibilities back home in 2014.
Okay.
So I'm
You
the
sort
eldest
of
in
like
the family.
a little wild girl.
I was.
Okay.
Yes. Oh
Okay.
my God. I
Were you?
was. I was a very difficult teenager.
Oh wow.
To deal with.
Very.
Do you know what? I can actually see that.
Me too.
I can get the vibe a bit, yeah. Do you know?
You know, right? But I'm good now. Sorry, mum.
And wild kids, I think they tend to be very calm and very responsible when they grow old. For some reason, I don't know why.
I think that's you.
Huh?
I think that's you.
I was a wild motherfucking
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
when I was young. Trust me.
Completely the opposite.
Me,
I was a
always
menace.
like that. I'm always calm.
My family,
Yeah, I can see that, you know. Oh.
my family hated me. It's not my family, but my cousins, my aunts. My aunts used to tell my mum, "Don't bring him." I was like this.
Oh.
Yes, I was that sort of a kid. I was evil. But now it's the complete other way around. I'm the most loved within the family,
And I
the,
take it
and the most calm.
Are you?
most responsible as well.
Yeah.
And people ask you for your opinion as well.
Oh yeah, a lot. Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. I'm that guy. Yeah,
There you go.
definitely. It's like for them, I've kind of made it. That's how they see me. Oh, he made it eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
But the rest of my cousins, that actually the grandfather lot, and I want to say they failed, but relatively did. Yeah, I mean, wow, they just like regular dudes.
Do you know what? I see why they would think that, because I was just like that. You tell me do one thing, I'll do the completely opposite, just to annoy you. Like you tell me don't go to that place, I'm like, why did she tell me not to go? I want to go to see why she told me not to go. I'll
What
take a
made you-
beating.
And speaking of, what made you come here then?
So the reason or how?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Cool. So
The reason first.
the reason first.
Yeah.
Right. So as I told you, I was trying to run away from responsibilities.
Okay.
Yeah. At the age of 14, I became the most responsible adult. Well, not after my mom.
Wow.
She became the only breadwinner now.
Okay.
Technically, I'm the plumber, the electrician,
Wow.
the babysitter.
Wow.
I take my brothers to their whatever it is, right? Helping them with their homework. So, and that's not really what I wanted.
Okay.
So, yes, I loved the responsibility and me being, but it's not really what I wanted. I wanted to live just like my other peers.
Are you the oldest, youngest?
I am. I'm the eldest, yeah.
Okay.
And being like that is just, it's that responsibility.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
You have to be the general manager in the house.
Literally. My mom is the cook. I'm the cleaner.
Really?
So my mom is outside. I'm home, just doing whatever, like literally making sure that everything is
Looking
fine.
after everything, yeah.
And at that age, like age of 14, it's like when you were thinking about running away from responsibility. Have you considered like did you think, oh, I need to do that, but in Europe, I need to live in Algeria?
Oh no,
no, how
no,
was
it never came like that. Do you know, when I was 14, I've never really thought to come to or to go to any country. I was in love of the US. I never seen myself like living in the UK. I hated the UK. I hated the accent, even though I've got a bit of a British accent now. But I had the full-on American accent.
You were on it.
Full on, like, and then I managed to get to work in collaboration with the US Embassy.
Oh wow.
So you can imagine the accent I used to have. But then my mind blew away about the level of opportunities that were brought to my face. From when I was 14, I told you I was wild. Like, I was just going out there and doing random shit. I was a break dancer. I was like...
Really?
Yeah.
I go. Respect.
Bro, I was like crazy. Like, don't be fooled when you see me in high heels. I mean, I was the one with the head spins and like literally,
Doing it.
I like this.
But then it taught me a lot of discipline. It taught me what evil there is out there, the good people to trust. It taught me a lot of things. So when I decided to go and study outside of Algeria, it was not because it was the only option. Well, it's not because of an option. It was the only option.
Right, I see.
That was brought to my face. And a colleague of mine said one day, he said, Hdjer, there is like this scholarship that you can undertake.
Was it like an English course or something? Or was it like a
No, it was a UK scholarship. I don't know if you know, it's called Hdjer Scholarship.
That's new one. Okay.
Yeah,
Say that again?
literally for everyone who wants to apply to come to study in the UK to do master's degree, you apply. You just have to show that you are a leader, you speak good English, you have a good perception to become an ambassador of the UK in Algeria, and it's fully funded. It's fully funded by the UK government, by the way, by the UK government. So at my time, it was the Queen funding it. So now it's the King funding it. So you get your rents, you get your monthly allowance every month. You have money coming into your account. Your whole school is taken care of. So it's amazing.
You know what? This is this is actually very interesting. We're going to leave that at the end of the podcast, so we give it like a proper breakdown of where it is. Yeah. So and then you were there, and then you got the scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and it happened to be the UK.
No, my mom didn't believe in me.
Really?
She never thought I would be able to come.
Okay.
My family is a strict family. Like, it's not like you tell them, oh, I'm just gonna go to the UK, change the country, and I'm gonna study, and they're like, oh yeah, you can do it. No. We are not like that. My family is the type of family like, you do what we think is right.
Are they conservatives?
Very. Yeah. But open-minded, like conservatives, but you have your we talk. We're all the time. We have like great.
There's a lot of vibes. Inside.
Home. It's not just that. I mean, I'm not saying strict.
Right.
Yeah. There's levels. They are a good family. Yeah, they brought us on good values, good ethics, good manners.
Respect.
Education. You have to be education. You have to study. Everyone in the family has to study.
How many brothers and sisters are you?
Three
Three.
in total. So when my friend said to me, "Oh, there is this scholarship, apply." Only 2 weeks before they
And
closed,
you were at
yeah?
uni at the time. Or you've
I
just finished uni.
I had finished uni.
What did you do back home?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah,
Okay,
علم
alright.
النفس.
Sort me out.
I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it.
Yeah. Okay. Go on. Well.
Well, 2 weeks before they closed the application, mind you, people have been applying for 4 months. 4 شهور والناس أنا عم they applying. I only knew about it 2 weeks before they closed.
Okay.
So you have to get all your documents, personal statement, like everything translated. There was no translation in the summer. Every office is closed. You have to get like official translations and stuff. I used to go to work in the morning, go to my universities to get whatever manuscripts I needed, evening translate them, and then found one person who would just be like, you know what, since you know English, translate them. I will just check them and give you the thing. So that's what I've done. On the day of the closing, 10 minutes before they closed, I managed to submit. I had internet problems. Do you know الكارت هذيك اللي يشارجيوها تاع الانترنت in Algeria? Do you know like when you know like the one ADSL, like ADSL card?
ليش تلعب بكري؟
I'm talking about the 14, bro. I didn't know how to look 2014, bro.
You need to update. Yes. 2014, 2013. It was at the at the time. Yes. Correct.
You know, like,
correct. Yeah.
شغل telephone like when it stops at midnight, like.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally. So it happens. هذاك النهار حتخلص لنا لا recharge. Like literally, and I didn't finish, and I started crying, and I finally convinced my mom. I said, "Mom, I want to apply," and she said, "Oh, how many people are applying?" I'm like, 2,500 people, 2,000, like 3,000 people, approximately. That's what. And she said, "Oh, شحال حيدوا منكم?" I'm like, so they said they're going to choose 3 people. 3 people. She said, 3 people? I said, yeah. Out of 48 ولاية قاع. She said to me, hey, راحي. معليش. So she knew, she was confident I was not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
She knew.
Oh my god, that's
So she was like, yeah. Like, she said in her head, like she was thinking, at least كي ما تجيبهاش ما تقوليش لو كان خليتيني, you know what I mean? So she oh my god, it was very emotional. But then I got it.
You got it.
We started selection.
Mentally.
It was, yeah.
You got the visa, right? And at the time we just finished uni, and then you came to the UK.
Yes.
to
So
do
after I
that
got
sort of
selected,
studies. Yeah.
yeah, it was a process of a 1 year process.
Okay.
So from 2,500 you get to 1,000, and from 1,000 they get to 500, from 500 to get 100, 150, and then from 50 to 10, and then 10 they do the interviews process, blah blah. You get the 3. And then got the visa, come here, studied, did psychology, my master's degree in psychology.
Hey.
Yeah.
How did you end up in property management? That's
Interesting, isn't
that
it?
one I'm trying to get. Yeah. What made you like literally jump from being a psychologist, if that's the word,
Yeah.
to a property manager?
To be my own boss.
Well, you could have still been your own boss as a psychologist.
True.
Yeah.
True.
As a property manager, you're more of a hustler than a psychologist.
Agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
There's a complete 2 different industries.
The switch. In property manager, you're more of a salesperson.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I said, hustler.
Yeah.
I said hustler.
Yes. You're more of a negotiator. Okay. You're more of a people's person, all the time on the go. So it was challenging. I knew I needed a business, but I didn't know what business I wanted. So when I was in uni, I got another offer to stay here, to continue my studies and stay here. So while I was trying to sort my documents, I was working for Selfridges. Do you know Selfridges?
Yeah.
Like a department store. So I was working for Selfridges. I was selling perfumes.
Okay.
And then one day, I remember I said to myself, I don't want to work for these people. It's so much nifaq, like hypocrisy. Oh my God.
It's very strict that they still like they treat their employees as if they are like some sort of, I don't know, cyborgs or something.
Yeah.
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 Isn't that
I mean,
true?
look, I had an amazing manager before.
But still, there's no human spirit there.
Yeah. The first manager was amazing. As soon as he left, everything changed for me. And I'm thankful because probably if he didn't leave, I would still be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
So you've never you did not have a what's it called? You did not have a plan to become a property manager. It
No.
just happened.
Shall I tell you how it happened?
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Shall I tell you how it happened?
I'm waiting with that part.
Do you know what? It was it was a moment my mom called me. Yeah. At the beginning, I was trying to find a business for myself to replace my income first, so I can sack my boss, and then just be fully into business. But I didn't know what business it was, so I was going to these free events. You know these free events that you usually go to, like Forex Exchange and you know Shopify.
Go to the
and-
London XO.
Yeah,
So you find them there usually.
You know, like these free events.
What's it called?
You go there.
Was it called seminar? Was it?
Yeah, they seminar.
That's yes, yeah.
So تروح لهذوك الإيفنتس. The whole day you stay there, and at the end يبيعوا لك like a course.
Okay.
Yeah. So يبيعوا لك a course. It
Been
depends.
there twice.
Yeah, like drop shipping ولا anything. I've tried it all. Amazon. I've tried it all.
Really?
Yeah, I've tried every single business.
That's like,
خطرة ماما she called me. قالت لي by the way we're getting evicted from our house.
oh wow.
Mind you, it's our house. It's our house. There's a lot of drama back home I don't want to get into. So I'm like, oh shit, like وين حنروحوا like هذيك دارنا.
What we gonna do?
ايه. And you know like when you're in a job كي تسيفي هذيك 200,000 في لافان تاع الموا and you send هذيك 200,000 للجزائر.
It makes a difference.
It makes a
Oh, it
difference.
does, yeah.
But you cannot buy a house with me
No.
with
No, you
200
can't.
pounds, you know.
You can't.
200 pounds شحال راهي دوكا 5 ملايين
200
4 ملايين وشي.
قريب
600.
5.
قريب 5 ملايين isn't it?
خمسة
Yeah. 5 ملايين باغ اكزومبل ياك. So تبعت 5 ملايين it's good. It's amazing. كنت نبعت زعما نقولوا هكذا خطر على خطر تبعت 200 خطر تبعت هذه. بصح ما it's
ما دير والو.
مش حتشري لك دار.
You just keep تخليهم يكملوا keep them going. Simple as that.
Yeah. That's to myself how much do I need?
Need like 50k at least.
Yeah. For me to do that, and I need it quick. I need it urgently. Yeah, لازم very quick. So a friend of mine قالت لي كاين network marketing. شو تدخل بنادم ويزيد يدخل بنادم وهذاك بنادم يزيد يدخل بنادم. You know what I mean?
Okay.
تدخل تخلص دراهم وبعدين يدخلوا زوج وبعدين تجيب زوج يدخلوا زوج.
And you getting money from everyone.
Everyone,
Yeah.
It's
literally.
like some sort of,
Pyramid scheme.
that's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it. حتى هذيك درتها. Like I tried.
Oh, you
literally.
went into the pyramid scheme?
I was.
Did
I
you
was,
lose anything? No.
To be honest, I got money. I made money.
Okay, you were not at the end of the scheme, because that's the worst what could have happened. If you join the scheme at the end of it, as if
Yes,
it's
yes,
about
yes.
to end,
I see.
then you get scammed.
That's
No?
true, but the company's still ongoing.
Oh, okay.
It's still
Well,
ongoing.
that's
They
that's
just
different.
Yeah,
That's
they
different what
just
we're talking about.
changed the commission plan.
Okay.
So it was not for me, anyways. I realized I was losing my friends rather than just gaining people. You know, like قعدت نقول لك روح تكره مني تعود ما تجيش تدور معايا.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so I was losing friends. I realized I was losing friends. And one day I wanted to try Forex exchange. So there was this free event. قلت لك كنت نروح من event to event, like free events. خطرة arrived late. 5 دقائق late. There was 2 events, same hotel. Two events in the same hotel. So I walked in. I was rushing in my high heels. I'm like, oh, I'm here for the events. And the lady was like, just walk straight ahead and just turn right. And that's what I've done. I walked in. واحد 400 بني قاعدين. I'm like, everyone is seated. So someone like showed me a seat. من الأول قاعد at the front. I'm like, shit, like I have to walk. So everyone is looking at me. You know, like that stare of a shame, like you're late. You know, everyone's staring at you. So I was walking the walk of shame, grabbed a seat, and then listened to the person talking. في بالي حيبدأ يهدر على forex trading, how you can, you know, trade money and stuff. كان يهدر على property. I'm like,
Okay.
what is this?
What the fuck?
Yeah, and then one of the people, قال لي, no, قال لي, the event you're looking for is on the other side.
Right.
So it's in the same
Wow,
hotel.
So that's how you became. Oh my god! Wow. Okay.
Very,
How
very
cool
interesting.
is that? Yeah.
God walking mysterious
Isn't
way.
it? Isn't it?
True.
Literally. So I was like, oh my God. لو كان نعاود نخرج, it's even more embarrassing. شغل دوك دخلت الناس قاعد قاعدين يشوفوا فيا نزيد نخرج قاعدين يشوفوا
You have
فيا.
to stay.
Yeah. So I said, let me wait. There must be a break. Must be a break. I'll just, at the break, just join the other event. Every minute, the guy was talking. He's my personal mentor right now. And thanks to him, I became a millionaire last year. So,
Okay, congrats.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much. And he was talking how you can jump in property without having without having a lot of money, without having to own a house, without having to have a diploma or be of a certain age or huge credit score, you know, because that's very important for you to be able to buy a house here. You don't need none of that. I'm like, how is that possible? She's like, forget about the other event. Just fuck it. Just stay,
Let me,
listen
yeah.
what they have to say.
How long ago is that? So.
That was in 2018.
Oh, that's very recent. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018.
Before COVID. It's just before
Literally.
COVID, yeah.
Just post
Literally
COVID.
before
Yeah.
COVID. So there's a strategy called rent to rent.
Yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rent a house, you do whatever, you fix it, you rent it out. Either do Airbnb with it or do room by room. So we have a property, for example, that the rent is £2,200 from the landlord. It's a 5-bedroom house. Each room now is rented for £1,000.
Wow.
And
Great.
and it's great return on profit. So it's £5,000 that we get in every single month. We give him 2,200. We pay about 800 in bills, more or less. You say you get about £2,000 profit every single month, like without doing much.
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah, I
nice.
see. I get a lot of ads like on Instagram. Do you want to become an Airbnb host? Yeah, do you want to become a millionaire? I don't really believe in them gurus online and stuff like that. I'm not the sort of person who
Oh, thank
fall
you.
into this.
There you go.
But no, I don't. I'm more of an offline person, if I could say. You know, I like to do my things offline.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Behind
no,
the scenes.
not really behind the scenes, but I don't know. This me making online money, it still doesn't. I still see it like how is that even possible?
But it's not online.
How is that? Huh?
It's not online.
Within the property, you are offline. Yes, I agree. But there's this seeing this being Airbnb host. Like for instance, I'm seeing a lot of gurus online. There's a lot of boys and girls, and they post some videos and be like, did you want to make £50,000 a month? Okay, that's how we do. So you go and find a property.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
not as easy as they make it look
and then you
like.
sublet it. And then I'm thinking like, if that's the case, then why wouldn't everyone do that? But I understand that you need to be. It's like what's more important is obviously is that you need to find the property first.
Absolutely. It's not as easy as they make it
And that
look
is the
like.
key, you know what I mean? So, and I'm like, finding a property and then renting, you still need money to do that, to start. You can't start from zero, can you?
Yeah, you still need money, but
And a
there
lot
are
of
some people
security
who are.
as well.
There are some people who have the money, but they don't have the knowledge that you can partner up with. So let's say I have £5,000 in the bank, which is a fair amount that people can save.
Okay,
It's-
yeah.
people-
It's easily to
It's
say.
affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You
affordable
can-
to save it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So £5,000. I have £5,000, but I don't read. I want to invest it. I don't want it to stay because otherwise I'm just gonna spend from it. I want it to grow. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do? I'm like, oh, Hussein, you know about how to do Airbnb and stuff. If I give you £5,000 and we partner up, you don't have the money. You have the knowledge. You know how to do it.
You have the money, you have the idea.
Yeah.
And this is how it is.
And shall we do it together and split 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay, that's, yeah. That
It's
sounds like a
possible.
deal breaker for me. I would like that, yeah.
And there's so many people. So I am a mentor myself. I'm a guru myself. So this is why I was looking at you. But then
How
look,
saturated
I have,
is
I have some of my mentees. They bring me really good deals, but they don't have the money. I'm like, look, I'm gonna invest in your deal. Yeah, how much you need? £7,000. I'll give you £7,000. Okay, you bring a good deal. You do everything, so I don't have to do much. I'm gonna be focusing on other stuff. You do everything. You're learning. You're getting 50%. I'm getting 50%. And 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
course.
No,
100%.
definitely. If that's the case, then you get.
Yeah. How did you get your first house?
Oh
Your
my
first
God. I almost gave up. But do you know when I told you that my mom was almost getting evicted? It's what kept me going. Because I didn't give a shit about what everyone was saying. I was calling people every day, like work. I would go to work in Selfridges. My break, I would just do data. I would look for Rightmove, Open Rent, Zoopla, Gumtree, you name it. I'm there calling people. Can I view this house? Can I view this house? How much do you want for it? Can I negotiate a bit? Can you? Literally, I was receiving like, no, sorry. No, do you have experience? Oh, how many properties do you have? Oh, like literally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this doesn't work. But then I'm like, no, it has to work. If other people are doing it, it has to work.
Keep going, yeah.
That's true.
So I kept going. And then people were skeptical to me sometimes. And I'm like, what's the one thing that will make people believe in me? Is if I build a relationship with them, right? And I'm good at that. I studied psychology, for fuck's sake.
Yes. So you started making friends before finding property.
Better put in use, isn't it? Like, better really just use it.
Yeah.
So I started using my skills as a psychologist, build a relationship with whoever. If I go to view a house, the last thing I would do is talk about the property. I'm like, oh, that's so nice weather. Oh my God, I love what you're wearing today. Oh, it's the Arsenal match today. Like I would build a relationship.
Before you start business.
Absolutely. And they're like, oh my God, yeah. Oh, I'm not for Arsenal. I'm like, me neither. Do I care? No. I don't care. But it's a conversation. So I'm having a conversation. Yeah. Literally, we're not talking about business. He's talking to me about everything. Like, did you have to travel from far? I'm like, no, I live there. Like, oh my God, I love that place. Even if I don't, I would just tell them about everything. If we share some similar background, like if you are Indian, I'm like, oh my God, I was going to Goa one day, which is the truth. I'm like, oh my God. So he starts talking to me about India. If I see that this person is Pakistani, I'm like, oh my God, I love curry or I love biryani or like this. It's literally just knowing who the other person is.
You need to go to that zone.
Yeah. Speak to them about what they like. And guess what? Everyone loves to talk about themselves, isn't it?
That's true.
It's like what I'm doing right now.
I can see that.
But then, so if I let them talk about themselves, they're building a relationship with me. And I'm looking at the house at the same time. So I'm having my ideas. So he's telling me things. I'm taking care of my surroundings or what type of windows there is. Or where is it? Is there a bus? Or is there, how many rooms? Is it carpet? Is it wood flooring? Is it come furnished? Is it not furnished? Does it need painting? How much is it cost? So he's telling me things about him. I'm focused with him, don't get me wrong.
And you're doing your homework
at the same time, my head is calculating, it's going all the time. So there's this guy and he said, so why should I give you my property? And I froze.
That's a good question.
I froze. He said, do you have experience? I said, I've got big hopes.
That's a good answer as well.
Yeah, and then he said, do you have money? I said, I have enough. And then he said, why would I give you my property? There's loads of people. I said, you know what? Let me tell you why.
At the time, were you like a registered agent or were you just...
You have to have some certain certificates. Okay. In the UK, they don't make it difficult to start a business.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So you don't need any diplomas or anything, but you need certain certificates that you have to meet and just make sure that you're not doing money laundering or you're not doing, some like anything unlawful. So he was asking me, why would I give you my property? It's my baby. So I said to him, reality is my mum is getting evicted from our property back home. And I'm just telling you this because I will do everything just so that she doesn't get evicted. And then he was like, I see big hopes in you and I really see that you're a genuine person. I said, I don't want to let you down because I don't want to let me down because I don't want to let my mom down.
Yeah.
It's not just you. There is a huge line behind you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, look, The property is advertised at 1,200. I'll give it to you for 1,000. He's a huge landlord, by the way. I'll give it to you for 1,000. You rent it, I'll give you more. Give me good service, I'll give you more. That property, it was rubbish a bit. He gave me 1 month free.
Okay.
I had
Fixed
a bit
it
of
a bit.
money. Yeah, fix it up a bit. Bought second-hand sofa, second-hand like decoration. I was fitting it myself, like literally going every evening there and just screwing things. Took nice pictures with my phone, put them on online, advertised it for 1,400, 1,400, and I got like 27 inquiries on the same day. I'm like, oh my god, this works.
It's work.
Yeah.
Working.
Right.
I'm giving him £1,000. These people are giving me 1,400. He gave me 1 month free, which is technically that money that's coming is just mine, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all I have to do is to duplicate this.
To find
And
more.
now,
What is that?
if anyone tells me, do you have experience? I'm like, yep.
Yes.
Talk to me, bro. Talk to me, bro.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
And that was the start. Now I have, from the same landlord, I have 26 properties.
MashaAllah.
Wow.
From him alone. And I have the whole building, for the same flat, the whole building, and I'm very grateful.
Respectful.
That's,
Very,
that's
very
yeah. It feels really good. I mean, it feels really good as soon as you achieve what you want. You get that sort of like satisfaction and be like, yes, I've made it. Though it was really hard at the start.
Do you know?
But
It might build your ego as well at the same time.
ego ego, that's a completely different topic. I like to talk about ego. Do you know what? Ego is one of the factors that destroyed my life back in the days.
Oh, how?
Oh yeah, ego. Ooh, ego is a bad thing.
It is.
Oh,
So how did it
it's
destroy
a
yourself?
Really bad thing.
Sometimes it's a good thing as well. It's good to have like the
It's-
ego side on you as well. You need that sometimes. I don't have it. I wish I have it, to be honest.
No, you don't.
I don't have it.
I think ego will.
I'm great that you don't.
I think
I'm great
ego
you don't.
will hurt you more than it
Yes.
than help you. I think ego will create walls between you and opportunities because you're like ego. You it's like you always see yourself higher than that like opportunity if you ever face. So you'd be like, no, I mean, I don't do that shit. You know what I mean? And that's your ego here. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're talking to a person, yeah, and you're seeing yourself way better than that person.
Yeah.
And that's because your ego.
Your ego,
While
yeah.
you can easily learn from that person, even though you're better than him, but you
Absolutely.
can still learn from that person. But because of your ego will be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be like, so you lose a chance. I'm one of the guys that Amanda knows really well. So I've encountered like a lot of chances and opportunities. Really, really good ones, trust me. I met some really big people back in the days, but my ego really destroyed me. And then I've learned lately, maybe in the past 5-6 years, I've really learned how to control it and how to become more like عندنا في تيار نقولوا كنت لعبها بهلوش بتشبع كسرة مش عارف تقولوا أنتم ولا لا.
Yeah, but not in that way.
Exactly. So,
yes.
and then I got like, do you know what? Now, whenever I meet people, whenever I see people or I encounter or I face any sort of opportunities, I always have that sort of humble approach. Do you know what I mean? I always approach it very humbly. Okay, I don't know. How does it work? Okay. Like I was asking about the property. I know a lot about the properties as well, stuff like that. But okay, but if you've known me before, I'll be cutting you off. Be like,
Yeah.
no, you do this. But now, in the past 6 years, I've learned how to just shut up
Listen.
and learn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ego is a really bad thing, especially for us as Algerians. Algerians,
Oh my God.
ego is so high, it's at
In
the
the
roof.
blood.
Do
I
you
think
know
that's
what I mean?
where they make it, innit?
We've seen that ego in our never.
That ego is in
Oh my
Algeria.
God. And that ego really, really destroy the youth in our country.
You have to be humble.
You have to always approach the opportunities as humble as it can be, because that's how you learn. If you're
Do you
not
know,
humble, you're
I
not
like what
gonna
you said. I really love what you just said. I'm just thinking about it right now. Why are we like that though?
That's a good question, you know. That's a very good question. If we start talking about it, it's a very endless conversation. But yeah, we can give it a shout, because I think it's a way of manipulating. I don't want to talk about politics a lot. It started since the independence. since the independence, our presidents, the first thing they talk about is how we defeated France and all that shit. You know what I mean? And that made people, you know. So the government, it's not only the government, yeah. Even the rich people in Algeria, they use the same technique as the government do. I'll explain in a bit. So the government will be, if they would want to implement something and they know people would come against this thing, you know what I mean? They use the ego technique. They'll be like, blah, shuhada, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 until they get their things done. And also, basically me, when I go back home, Hadjer, when I go back home, I hang out with a lot of rich boys, right? They're all successful. And when I talk to them, I always get the impression and I get the vibes, they really like the fact that Algerians have the ego high, because that's how they live and that's how they make money. Yeah. And they'd be like, yes, hey, ego's high, people emotion, so easy to control them, so easy to sell them these things. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So the same technique the governments and rich men use in a country like Algeria. It's not only Algeria, I think all the, well, not really the third world, but all especially the Muslim world. We Muslims, when it comes to our religion, we're very emotional. Yeah. See Andrew Tate, look at Andrew Tate. He claimed to be Muslim one day. He's followed by, apparently 80% of his followers are Muslims. Regardless of what he says, Muslims will still love him because he said, I'm Muslim. You know how he used this emotion and ego to control his audience?
True. Do you like him or no, you don't?
Oh, I don't like him. I think
you don't?
I think he's a waste man.
Do you?
Yeah, I think he's a waste man.
I
think he's a very...
I disagree with that.
No, he's okay. So, okay, let me tell you something now. Let me tell you something, whether you agree or disagree. So, Andrew Tate speaks very good.
Yeah, he's a good speaker.
The guy knows how to talk.
Absolutely.
It's almost impossible to win a conversation with him. Why his voice is so loud. Especially people with a loud voice, it's hard to handle them. His voice, he's a big guy. His voice is so loud. Okay. If you're a good speaker, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. What you're saying is right. Exactly. You're just convincing. Okay, that's the first thing. Also, so I'll give you an example about Andrew Tate and see if you agree or not. He talks about family spirit a lot, how men should protect women and things like this. Okay, I agree. I like this. Personally, I like this. My guy, I agree. But when you see men talking like this, and at the same time, he runs a cam girl business, you're a really bad role model for what you're talking about. Did you get my point now? Yeah. How could you talk about the family spirit and protecting family, and in the same time you're in the pimping business? Whether it's right or not, he said it so many times. I've heard it. Look, he said that's how I do. That's how, and I'm like, bruv.
Even
in the last podcast, you were talking about how to protect family and how to become a man to protect your woman, and now you tell me how to run the fucking a cam business.
Okay, let me tell you.
Okay, go on.
Even Tristan said it.
Huh?
Tristan, his brother. His brother. Even him, he said it. They did run that kind of business. They did run it, yeah?
Yeah, they did.
They didn't deny it. They did not. But look, judging someone for their past actions and now is different. Like, he was not running the business while he was saying those things. Look, there's so many things that I've done last year that I regret.
That's normal. Does
that make sense? And I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But now if you tell me, I'll tell you like, look, I know how to do that shit, but I don't do it anymore. It's just like now I have better values, better ethics. The view that I have right now has changed. The things that I do right now are completely different. You know, it's the mature level. I have better choices. I'm taking better choices. So when he was doing that, I'm not defending him, by the way. By all means, I'm not. I'm just telling you like what's happening. And I don't agree with him on 100% level. There's about 70 to 80% of what he says that I agree with. Like the equality, what men should do, what men shouldn't do, what women should do, what women shouldn't do. Running the illegal business, after he became a Muslim. He was not a Muslim, so he could do that.
I still don't believe that he's genuinely a Muslim.
Well, there are levels too. Are we 100% Muslims?
Yes, we are. Yes. I think, we definitely are Muslims. We do deeply witness that God and the Prophet are the thing.
True.
I bet whether he does. But I doubt this.
But you know that the fact that we have been raised in a Muslim country, it's what helped us to. But if you ask me about a lot of things,
Can I tell you something?
I might not be able to
Okay,
give
can
you
I
an
tell you
answer.
something?
Sure.
Okay. Watch anyone that have converted to Islam,
Was about to say that.
whether it's Muhammad Ali, whether it's anyone, and watch them when they talk, the reason as to why they've converted. And they'll be like, we've converted because we saw in this religion what we believe is true. That's the main idea.
Perfect.
Andrew Tate, whenever he speaks about Islam, he's like, you know why I follow Islam? You know why? Because Christianity is dying. That's a very silly reason. Because Christianity is not doing well, that means you follow Islam. I'm like, mate, no. Doesn't really. So if Christianity is doing well, and the churches still have like power, it will still be Christian. Because for him in his mind, he's like, Islam is a true religion, is the only religion, because it's the only religion that is standing up. You know, and that's why he's following it.
Yeah.
وجب عقلية الدنيا مع الوقف. He's smart guy. He's a manipulator.
Est-ce que l'islam هو اللي يرى واقف دركا?
Of course, 100%.
Well, you know why it's not waqaf. It's not. The thing is, if you talk about the trend,
Yeah.
now what's the trend? It's the
Muslims.
LGBT and stuff like this. Islam is really solid.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to this, it's against this thing. So it happened Islam at the moment to be the trend. You know, because LGBTQ is the trend. Within 4 years, 6 years time, the trend will be something else. You never know. It can be karma, and people will start talking about Hindus. So it's all about the trend. What's going on in media? This is only social media.
Yeah.
Islam has been actually solid, and it's still solid for 1,400 years.
Since
So-
you start.
But the trend at the moment, Andrew Tate happened to talk about something that, okay, he's against these things, or Islam is against these things as well. I like it. Okay, I follow it. I follow it, or I pretend to follow it so I can get as many followers as possible. Andrew Tate, he says that it's not Andrew Tate. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not Andrew Tate, but 90% of the gurus out there, the millionaires, whether 9 figures, 8 figures, doesn't really matter. They're not made money because they're successful businessmen. They have made money because of being a guru.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they'd be like, okay, I'll show you how to do drop shipping, blah, 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 blah. Look at me, I've done it and I made $1 million. No. That $1 million he made is because you watching him and you buying his courses. So it's the same apply for
I
Andrew
agree
Tate.
with you.
Huh?
I agree. Look,
Otherwise he's got zero.
hand on heart, no. Hand on heart, I'll tell you that I made, personally, most of my money from teaching other people how to do it than doing it myself. Even though I have more than 120 properties in my portfolio. I made more money showing people how to do it than when I've done it myself.
I understand.
It is a fact.
Yeah.
Because it's quick, it's leverageable. Yeah, you can leverage it. What he does, yes, he makes more money of when he speaks. Yeah, I was asked to speak for 12 minutes recently, and I'm getting £4,500 on stage for 12 minutes.
That's good.
So, as a speaker, he is really well paid.
Yeah.
This is why because he is a good speaker.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Does that make sense?
He's brilliant.
For you to invite him to your show, you have to. I think it's about £500,000.
Wow.
I believe so. Like,
Apparently in 1 year, he made, in a year time after he created that Hustlers University, do you know what was the revenue in 1 year of Hustlers University? Plus 200 million.
you see, there you go.
That is crazy, man.
That's crazy.
He's the biggest mentor in the world right now.
But is what he says facts?
I think Andrew Tate has two different faces. Yeah. Okay. Andrew Tate in podcasts.
We're giving him a lot of importance, by the way.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut it a bit. So Andrew Tate, I mean, is the trend anyway. So Andrew Tate, when it comes to podcasts, when he's talking about podcasts like this, for example, he talks a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But when he goes live on that Hustlers University and a lot of young kids
Completely
follow
different
him,
people.
he shits on them a lot. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
He shits a lot on them. A lot. But in podcast, no, it's different because he know that there's a lot of smart people watching him, so he can't really fuck up. But when he's live on that website, apparently, I saw some like live footage of him. he talks a lot of rubbish.
Okay,
To the kids.
have you known about someone called Grant Cardone?
No.
I think if you see his face, you probably will know him. He's the guy who always travels in jets. He has a jet, and he's also like that. Look, there is different personalities and different the way people receive the information. Yeah, I might be teaching you rent to rent. Hamada might be teaching you rent to rent. Yunus might be teaching you rent to rent. But the way I do it and the way Hamada does it and the way Yunus does it is completely different. And you, the way you love to be given the information is the way you want to be receiving it. So you're going to choose whoever is giving you that type of information the way you would like to receive it. So that's how you go with that person. The people who are following Andrew Tate are people who agree with the way he gives the information. So there are people who are salespeople. There are people who are lovers and give you kind and shows you the affection when they're teaching you. There are people who try to manipulate you. People who try to shout at you. The same way it goes in. You know the imam. The imam can't leave there. You know, like you feel scared. That's what people who love that type of thing. There's someone who's very soft-spoken, knows how to give you the information in a very nice way. There are people who love that. Others, they're like, do you know what I mean? Like, so every single person and their personality will see the way you would love to perceive it. So,
Absolutely.
So the people who are in there, they love that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, speaking of being a property manager,
Yeah.
So, you know, also what I've noticed when I went back home like this, like this year. So I went back home. I'll tell you a story. Well, it's not really a story, but it's just a fact. Yeah, it's there. So I was in Hdjer and I stayed in a very nice hotel in Algeria, right?
Cool.
Very nice hotel. It was like 150 a night or something like this.
150 what? Pounds?
£8 a night.
Must be kidding.
Yeah. So that's very expensive. It was 5 stars in Oran. It's called Royal Hotel, right?
Ooh.
5 stars. The hotel was very clean. He had all the things, but service you get a hostel service.
The customer service in Algeria is all bad.
No, they're nice.
So
they're
bad.
nice. The guys are nice. They're forced to be nice, but like the customer service structures within the hotel is so bad. Like for instance, you're asking about something and then you keep him. Oh, you got this? What is it? You know what I mean? And you see like there's such
You know
a
what?
mess.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah,
Chaos,
and it's
bro.
really bad. Listen, yeah, that was a 5-star hotel, and then my mom decided to join me. My mom doesn't like to stay in hotels because of there's bars and stuff. My mom was very conservative. I was like, okay, mom, I'll get you an Airbnb then. And I booked an Airbnb. You know, run through the app. I paid. It was about £50, I think, a night.
Okay.
Bro, I swear to you, Hadjer, the service I received from that host, it was as professional as here in the UK.
Wow.
The guy was so good. So good. The structures, how you should do, how you get in the flat, the video, signs, and then
Guides
leave a review. He was so fucking professional, even though he just seemed to be an amateur. How crazy is that? So what I was going to say, it's being an Airbnb host in Algeria right now, I think it's a very... It's very there's a lot of opportunities there in Algeria.
It's a virgin
if people
market.
knows how to do it, yeah?
It's a virgin market.
It's a virgin market in
say that all
Algeria.
the time.
It's
It's a
so
virgin
easy.
market.
And I think
Swear to God.
I think you Hdjer, you should let us know for someone in Algeria how to become an Airbnb host.
So
In Algeria.
shall I tell you what I'm thinking to do?
Go.
Okay. So inshallah in 2024, this is what I'm planning, that I've got a lot of marketing actually. There's a guy called Zween that we know, and I'm thinking to do quite some work with him because he's amazing at what he does. I might introduce you guys to him as well. He's amazing at what he does, and I'm thinking to do the exact same thing here in Algeria. Reason is, a lot of people want to go to a place where they can have that type of service. You can still cook. You can still be with family. Because if you go to a hotel, you're just going to have a room. But if you're in a family, what are you going to do? You're going to have to stay in a in a flat or something. Yeah. So there are cities that I'm thinking to do that in. But before I try to get people or teach them how to do it, I want to do it myself. So I have a feel about what the rules are in Algeria. So you can exactly teach them what's right. I know everything, but what's compatible.
Okay. I understand. So it's like a virgin market, yeah. Let me break it down in simple words, right? So if you want to become an Airbnb host in Algeria, here's the thing. That's the way I see it. I don't know. I've never done it before, yeah. But if I want to start, so let's say I live in a major city in Algeria. Let's say Oran, and Naba or Steve, Hasima, right? And I want to become an Airbnb host. So the first thing I need to do is to find a properties, available properties, and then I list them in Airbnb, and that's it.
No.
Okay. Yeah. You see, that's okay. Go on then.
Yeah. So you know.
Go.
So you're talking about Algeria, the Algerian market, isn't it?
Algerian market.
Perfect. So there is a lot of marketing behind it. There is a lot of work. You have to have a cleaner with you all the time because the changeover is killer. It's a killer. It takes a spot for someone to leave a bad review. A spot.
Right.
And guess what? Algerians are amazing at that.
Really?
We will try to find to find the slightest mistake to complain. Because we like to do that. If you look at your comment section, we don't like to, just give criticism that's constructive. We like to give criticism ليهدمك, because we want to feel, again, we were talking about the ego, we want to feel better. نقدر نديرها. Like everyone says it. Like you look at the influencers, kind of, اللي راهم نكتين دوكا حالة. Even if someone who's really good, تروح comment section تاعهم at the bottom تلقاهم يهضروا غير rubbish stuff.
Yes, because I know.
So Airbnb, going back to Airbnb, just you have to have a lot of things behind it. So the cleaner has to be available all the time.
Maintenance as well.
Plumber. You have to. يروح لك الضوء, you have to send an electrician. Boiler breaks down, you have to send a plumber.
Especially if you want to give a good service, as you said.
Do you know what? The Algerian property market is not really virgin. Maybe it lacks. It's not as developed as here, but it's still there.
It is, yes.
It's still there.
Yes.
It's just not as developed as here. So if you would want to go to Algeria and become like a property manager or something, you will find a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But being in the UK market will be an advantage.
Even more.
Yeah.
Oh my God, especially in London. Yeah. Oh my God, the competition is just
ridiculous. It's very saturated.
Absurd. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, I have 121 properties in my portfolio. It's hard
to compete.
In Algeria, people don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. Look at dropshipping. It's also a very, very virgin market.
It's not okay. Yeah, I don't really want to cut you, but being a dropshipper, the dropshipping business has been going on for years.
True.
But
how many people do you know?
It just wasn't called dropshipping.
Yeah,
that's the only difference.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So it's been going there. So dropshipping in Algeria, courtier. They are dropshippers technically. True. You know what I mean? Yeah, courtier they dropship because courtier for بلاد they sell you before they buy.
That's true.
هذا هو الكورتي. هذا هو السماسري, So the dropshipping business has been going there, but just now it's being called dropshipping.
Gave it a fancy name.
Gave it a fancy name. And it started calling dropshipping, you know why? It started with YouTube basically when these YouTubers started creating content on YouTube, and they've created their stores. They opened their stores for clothing, for their brands and stuff like that. And they were dealing with them, working with the with this I don't know, the factories that make the clothes and they
Yeah.
print the logo for them.
Supply
and
on
they'll be like,
demand, whatever.
that's it. And then they'd be like, oh, do you know what? You get the order, send it to me, and I'll ship it directly to your customer.
Yeah.
Since then, became dropshipping. Otherwise, dropshipping business has been going on for years.
True.
It always existed.
But in Algeria, it's still, because they don't have the facilitations that we have here. But everything in Algeria is good. Everything.
It's virgin. And
Fresh
I always
market.
and I always say,
Yeah.
I said it to Hamada the other day. Whenever I come back from Algeria, I am yet to go and settle back in Algeria. I have certain reasons as to why I don't want to go, but
Getting married.
that's one of the reasons. If I go and settle in Algeria, I'm very, very, very likely to become rich so quickly.
I agree.
I know it. I'm sitting the other day. I'm sitting and I'm looking around and I'm like, fucking how easy is here? How easy to sell this thing to this guy sitting with me. I'm talking to him. You know what I mean? And that's why I mentioned earlier, because people tend to be very emotional, and emotional people, they're the easiest customers. They're the easiest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Every time I go to Algeria, I come back with a list of things that I can do.
Exactly. That's every time we go with a big list. That's
Big list.
different idea, like new idea. Let's
But
do this. Let's
let
do
me
this.
tell you something, Hadjer, yeah? It's not all Algerians who lives in the UK think the same way you do. The people
True.
that think this
Yeah.
the way you do, they're as little as 5% of
Do
the
you know
community
why?
in Algiers.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because they're too busy trying to focus on making a living
Thank you.
than to make a lifestyle.
Yes, well, that's one of the reasons, and also the other reasons is their goal target before they come to the UK. It was, okay, I'm going to go to the UK, make papers, build a family, and then whatever I earn in the UK, I'll go back home and convert it, and it gives me dinners, and I enjoy the life until I die. You know, so they don't have this on like the entrepreneurial
No,
like
they
the
don't.
mindset. They don't carry that. Maybe 98% of Algerians are like this. You can clearly see there. I'm not really. I'm not saying the Algerian community in the UK is not really successful, but if you compare it to other communities, like Egyptians or Moroccans,
yes.
we're far.
Do you know what? Let's.
Yeah.
As much as I don't really like to talk about this, but let's talk about it. Do you know what's the first thing that Algerians need to understand? That's the most important thing. It's not making the money. It's becoming a legal citizen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Our Algerian people, which I understand, la ghalib, you know, la ghalib, la situation, la ghalib. يقول لك نطلع باش ندير دراهم باش نبعث لي يما. You know, that's the first thing he's thinking. Whereas Moroccans, what I've noticed, the first thing they come is sort your situation.
Yes.
Become legal. When you are a legal citizen, like when you're a legal citizen here, you are able to work. You are able to travel back. You can do whatever. Yeah? Algerians, no. They work even as harag, chebek, يخدم anything just to send 200, 400, 500 pounds back.
True. They don't really think about this. They have a very limited ambitions, which is which is fair, because being an ambitious person is always it's not always. You can be ambitious and lazy in the same time, and that's the worst combination you have. You know what I mean?
You know, ambitious and lazy would make you create shortcuts.
Do you reckon?
I am a very lazy person.
No, you're not. Let me tell you. I think you're not. You're definitely not. Because being lazy... Okay, let me tell you. Being ambitious at the same time, I've spoken about this in a podcast one day. Being ambitious, but yet lazy, I think you become a miserable person. You become a person who gives a lot of excuses because you know in your mind you could have done that thing and you could have made it. And that what creates depression, because what does it mean, depression?
True.
Depression means the ability of doing something yet you don't do it. And you feel bad about yourself. You know what I mean? And that's called depression. But ambitions, and yet you try and then you fail, you won't get depressed because you're going to forgive yourself. You know, I tried at least. You know what I'm saying? So being ambitious and lazy at the same time, I think these like really miserable people, and we should always stay away from them. That's how I see it.
The reason why I said I'm a lazy person, I don't like to do a lot of work. Like, look, in my organization, I have 2 offices. I have 15 people working with me. I don't like to use the word working for me. I like to say working with me because we work together. Without them,
That's leadership. Yeah.
I believe in that. I'm sitting here with you. They're picking up on the calls. Some of them are answering comments on Instagram. Some of them are, just doing the editing. The other one is doing the inspection, whatever. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do everything, first of all. And it's called leverage. Creating another ability for someone else to achieve their goals through you. And at the same time, there's always someone who knows more than you do. And I'm a lazy person because I got to a point where I don't like to do it myself. But I still want the same outcome that it would give me as if I'm doing it myself.
I understand.
So I'm looking for the shortcut. Okay, I'd rather give this person £1,500 a month for them to take care of the management of the whole office. Cool. They do it.
See.
If I can't afford it,
then you do it yourself.
You have to do it yourself.
I do it myself until I'm able to afford it.
Yeah.
I have virtual assistants. And that's how I started. Virtual assistants, you get someone from the Philippines with £400. £400 is amazing.
Someone from the Philippines. Yeah, go.
My team in the Philippines. I don't want you to watch this. Still love you.
Yeah.
But hey, it's the currency. The salary is £400. They work 40 hours a week. They're still doing everything. I give them a virtual landline so they can still call people and pick up. Yeah? As if they're ringing from the UK.
Yeah.
They're being trained. They're answering the Airbnb inquiries, replying to reviews, booking the cleaners, booking the everything.
That's good.
So the business is being run. But the things that I need to do is me building a relationship with my landlords, taking them to dinner, bringing more houses, going to see the challenging things, maybe buying. But so the stuff that I need to do are now higher and better. And then they can take care of the stuff that I hate to do.
You need that. You have to do that, innit?
Algerians don't understand that. It's called leverage.
That's called leverage, exactly, yeah. I agree.
In Algeria, people don't understand that. But even if they do, ما يوقفوش على الخدمة تاعهم.
No.
Which is why you were receiving a bad service in the hotel. The hotel is immaculate, it's clean, it's amazing, it's perfect, it's beautiful, great location. But the staff was not good.
Yeah.
Because they like the leverage and they like the purpose as to why they're working. I think that's more important as well. If you work without purpose, that's it. You're dead.
You're dead. Wallah.
You're just working without any purpose. Working as
Exactly.
Working in a restaurant as a waiter, like you're a waiter without purpose. You're just a waiter who makes money, pays rent, eats, sleep, and that's it. But a waiter who works for a purpose, a waiter who works for, I need to be a manager. That's a guess. He's got a purpose. This guy will give as much as he can.
Yeah.
Then he becomes that sort of person, extremely, I don't know, he's got all the skills that needs to be hungry, and then he becomes a manager, and then becomes a restaurant owner, and then he becomes a company owner. Why? It all goes back to the purpose as to why he started working from the very beginning. And I think we Algerians, not only Algerians, North Africans, all the third world, if I could say that. I know a lot of people, they're not going to like this word. That's why I said I'm very controversial. People don't like my words. The third word, I think we like these things and we work. We don't have any purpose to work for. We just live for nothing. You know what I mean?
I think you say it the way it is. You say it the way it is, and people sometimes refuse to accept what it is.
And if you don't accept, you will never improve.
Absolutely.
Which
goes back to the ego.
That goes back to the ego. You need to accept it. Yes.
Do you know what, Hussein? I think us Algeria needs people, because look, let's think about it. Let's all agree. When someone makes it, we don't like to show others how to make it.
How to make it, yeah.
صح؟
Yeah.
أنا درت دراهم ما قدرش نحب نوري لك كيفاش أنت تدير دراهم. بصح people don't know that كي نعاودك أنا أنتيا باش دير دراهم and I'm making more money.
More money, yeah.
I can have a franchise.
That's true.
True, yeah. We don't have the franchise culture in our country.
Nope.
It's so rare.
Nope.
No, so like in Algeria, there's for example, Tesco here, you go and you found it everywhere. It's a
Everywhere.
company. You don't have that in Algeria, you know.
Yeah, we don't have like the big chains because people they don't have. It's like people, you know, in Algeria. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I told you I know a lot of rich people in Algeria. I know too. My city, I know, and I've got my friend. Yeah, okay, my friend's net worth maybe is about, say, could easily be about 20 million. Easily be. He's a rich guy. What does he open? Look at his mindset. He opens cafes, a cafe. And he's rich as fuck. And I'm like, bro, why you open a cafe? You shouldn't open a cafe or restaurants. You're not the sort of guy who should.
Not
you should be
creative.
you should be in the creative industry because you have enough fun to do that. You know what I mean? You should not be competing with these guys who's got cafeterias and stuff like that. And he goes like, do you know what? That's how we make money here, mate. It's not being creative. It's just being competitive. That's it. So that's why we.
Oh my God, if I had that,
Have that net worth.
net worth, oh gosh.
You'll be super creative. You'll be thinking about how I create my own legacy.
Yeah.
That's the first thinking. I want to be like, I want the name Hadjer to shine somewhere.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Which I will,
But
which I'm sure it will.
Rich men in Algeria don't think like this.
They don't.
They don't. They
شوف
don't.
يجيبوا لك كرشه قد هاك. Sorry.
They don't.
And شلاغم هاكا.
That's it.
And that's it.
Just make money
For
somehow.
them that's لحيات. Which I think that's the reason why I didn't get married. It's because
Okay. Okay. That's a bit of a silly reason. Go, carry on.
no, look, I'll tell you. Because hey, I don't see myself with someone who's not ambitious. I'm not saying not rich. Yeah, there's a huge difference. If you're not rich, I don't mind.
But being in the process of becoming rich, that's
Thank
attractive.
you.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
I want you to be ambitious enough to change what you want to do and to change what you're doing right now. That's one. And I don't want you to have this mentality of Algerian men who's like, you know what? I'm just going to have my money and that's it. And then what?
Chill.
And then what?
That's true. Then what?
Do you know what?
Old.
Yeah. Do you know a fact? Yeah, it's a fact. It's proven fact. People, the most people who die are after retirement. Do you know why? Because they stopped working. Because they stopped going around and doing things and thinking and just constantly. So their body is now like, what's my purpose? So their body is in shock. I'm like, okay, I have nothing to do, to a point where it's not doing anything. Company.
I understand, yeah.
So it's the same thing with anything that stops. Your body is not meant to stop. Your brain is not meant to stop. So if you have money, you're not meant to stop. You're meant to create other opportunities, other challenges, other things.
I agree with you 100%.
You know what I mean? I was running a 6 figures business. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable. I managed to buy my mama house. She's not getting evicted anymore. But then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Should I stop here? No. Let's get a 7 figures business. And it's
Exactly. So
seven
you're
figures.
always hungry. These are
Always.
ambitions.
I'm 7 figures business now. Inshallah, I want to get to the 800, to the 8 figures. But now, okay, what do I need to do? Am I happy in property? Is it the same industry I want to be in? Maybe I want a better one. Maybe it's not challenging me anymore. Maybe it's not. So I will always try and look for something that is never going to make me stop.
I love that about you, you know?
Thank you. But men don't like it.
Oh? No. I
Men who
love
want to
that about
settle
you.
down,
Us.
they don't like it. They see me as a threat.
Well,
It's different.
this is very subjective, you know. I mean,
You don't see it from my own eyes. Hassan, as a woman,
being an ambitious woman, you're saying that could prevent you from finding
yes,
the men that you want.
an Algerian.
An Algerian.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Algerian men, do you know what they think? Yeah, they just want to live the moment. And they always, you know what, we're in Algeria. Okay, listen to this here. You might disagree with this, but I live on this. You know, in Algeria, our parents keep telling us, ولدي ولا بنتي كي تموت شدي معك. And I always say to my dad, no, it's not, Baba, مش كي تموت شدي معي. كي موجة خليت موراي.
خليت معي
You
صح.
know what I mean? This is more important for me. كي موجة خليت موراي. And this
legacy I
is
left.
what have I left? Because
Exactly.
people in our country, especially our parents, you know, our parents, the way they grew up and the way they lived through like a lot of hard times and stuff like that. And they have this very low-key mentality. You know what I mean? شدي ما هذه بزاف علينا ولدي يقول لي. أبوي يقولها لي. هذه بزاف علينا نقول له no, Dad, that's not enough. I mean, there's not enough. By saying enough does not mean
حمد
that.
ربي, but then
Yes, exactly. But we can do better. You know what I mean? We can help people out of that. You know what I mean? But you never hear the word help from companies. It's like the way they promote their stuff or their products in Algeria. Have you ever heard in TV advertisements that a company is selling a product in order to support certain cause? Never heard. I've never seen this. Here you see it a lot.
too much.
We created this product because we want to support this. Maybe the climate change or maybe,
Yeah.
you know, they always have
Yeah.
a goodwill and they have a good cause. I have never seen it in our country. Never.
Yeah. A bit diverted from the topic.
Yeah, well, for me, it's all linked together.
Just returning to the topic, ambitious.
What are we
yeah?
talking?
No, about men.
So bringing us to man again. Do you know what? I did it on purpose. Carry on. I thought you were talking about this. Yeah, I was going to bring
What do you
man
think,
topic
Hamida? I
I think
separately.
for me, I love it. I love ambitious women, you know, and I don't see that a lot. I've been here for 14 years, and apparently you're the first that like you make it, you success. Most of the Algerian women and the Algerian girl, they come here, and then they just get a baby, 2, 3, and that's it. That's all. No work, no nothing. And I met a lot of women, include my sister. She live here. She's just like a
They're very low
housewife.
keys.
You know what I mean? Like, why the Algerian women like that? I mean,
شغل same طابع ياك.
exactly.
Because
You,
the way
you
they
grow
brought
up
up as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The way they're brought up.
Absolutely.
It's not-
Go
it's
to
not about
school,
that.
جيب سيزيام, go to سوام, جيب البوام, go to lycée, جيب الباك, go to university, make sure you're getting married at the same time, جيب لا licence, get married, settle down, have children, ربيهم, دخليهم school, maybe you stop work, or maybe you're still working, or as a teacher, or as a nurse, whatever, but it has to be a certain criteria. It has to be from certain hours to certain hours because you have to take care of your husband, you have to take care of your family, you have to take. And this is what I cannot do.
This is what we're talking about, like the women in Europe, like you're here, you like, you know, like this is different culture, you study, I don't know, you got a lot of opportunity, but why you cannot make it?
Would you support your wife if she was
100%,
ambitious?
100%.
How about you?
Absolutely, I would love that. I love them. I do love ambitious women as well. I'm the type of person as well. I always say it on my podcast. I would never have a fucking wife who stays at home. That's a big no for me. That's a big no.
I don't know
I want her to hustle with me. Come here.
100%.
Let's
Do you
do
guys
it.
have older brothers?
50-50. For me, it's 50-50. I will support her and 100%.
No, but for me, we will have to be in the same industry. That's a must.
Oh, really?
Yes. If I am to hustle, I don't want her to hustle. And I'm hustling there.
Yeah.
I want us to be a bit similar. I'm not saying the same industry. Like, let's say if you're on property, that he has to be in property. No. But kind of the same.
Yeah.
If you're buy and
Connection.
sell, you kind of the same thing. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But she can't be like
For me, I don't care, because
like this.
you might get chances, as Hadjer was speaking earlier. She said, like, she went to the event, to property event, and like she went there by mistake, and she don't know nothing about it, and she start and she make it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the same zone.
So, no, but I'm saying is like she said, what's more attractive? Because also for me, what I find attractive in women, and I believe women find attractive in men as well, is like it's not really the success. Like a successful woman doesn't really attract me, and successful doesn't. What attracts me is the process.
The process.
Do
It's
you know
the
what I mean?
journey.
That's what is the
Journey.
journey. That
It's the
journey is
journey.
very attractive, whether it's a
Absolutely.
man or woman. So if I see a woman in that journey, and I believe I can fit in that journey, that's the match I look for. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the match I look for.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for a man. I'm looking in for a man. Like, I'm looking for in a man. Sorry. I'm someone who is very simple. You might see me, oh yeah, she's leading, But when it comes to partnership, I'm very like someone who contributes but lets the other person. I'm not leading in a marriage. I don't like to lead in a marriage. I'd rather have a masculine man who leads in the marriage.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
But the way men see it is like, oh, you know what? I have to stop you from doing everything, which I've had it. This is why I'm saying I've had it. Well, let me tell you, I have motorbikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ride motorbikes.
Okay. Oh, all right. My girl.
I've met someone.
Okay.
Who met me on a bike.
On a bike. Yeah.
If my mom listens to this, she's gonna kill me.
Go, carry on now. We can know.
No, you don't have to.
That's right.
My brothers know. They will they cover up. So I've seen this guy and he was on a bike. Yeah, the reason why I said that is because my mom doesn't know I have bikes. She would be she would be scared. She would be scared to death.
Right.
So basically, he met me, and then all of a sudden he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, it's a girl." And then he started talking to me. It was the red light, yeah. And he said, "It's hot today, yeah." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Do you know how to get to this place?" And he's Algerian. You can, oh my God, like you can tell he's an Algerian. He said, "Do you know how you get to Hdjer Road?" I looked at him. I said, "I'm sure you know how to get to Hdjer Road, but it's okay. So it's all the way through here." And he said, "Oh, okay. My name is Ilyas. What's your name?" All this on the red light. All this conversation on a red light. He said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name." He said, "My name is Ilyas. What's yours?" I said, "My name is Hadjer." I said, "Hadjer? You look Brazilian. Where are you from?" Because usually Brazilian women are the ones riding bikes.
That's it, yeah.
And I said, "You said you look Brazilian. Where are you from?" I said, "No, from the same country as you." He said, "What, Algeria?" I said, "Yeah." Algeria. And then all of a sudden, the light turned green, right? So I said, "Yeah, Algeria. Bye."
See you.
And I left, right? And then he started following me and honking. He's like, and then بدي رابلي لي في الفلاش تاعو
بلاد ديرك
غراف I'm like علاش عطيت له كاع هاد الوقت in my head I'm like شو ما كانش كاع لازم نهضر معاه I don't speak English كاع بعد قاعد يتبع فيا بعد I was like, you know what, I don't want him to follow me anymore. So I did as if I was going straight, but I actually went all the way and then turned right. So it was a split of a second that I've done it. He didn't think it through, so he continued all the way ahead. So I got rid of him. And he's like, I finished. Fine. I got on with my day. Went to the gym. And then I used to go to the gym quite late in the evening. 1 a.m. I left from the gym. 1 a.m. My phone rings. 1 a.m. I said, who calls me at 1 a.m.? حتى الصباح. I pick up. And he's like, Hadjer, Hadjer. I was like, yeah. And he said, oh, على بالك أنا هذاك اللي تبعتك الصباح كي الكلب فوق الموطو. And I was like, the audacity.
شكل لك تبعتك الكلب. تعالوا قاودين.
تفيكم.
فوق الموطو. I'm like, how did you get my number? كيفاش you know? And he said, على بالك رحت كاع القهاوي من قهوة لقهوة ونقول لهم إذا تعرفوا وحدة بغين تسوق موطو اسمها هاجر توعنا ديريا. And I was like, really? And he said, until واحد راكي كانت له دار انت تخدمي في البروبرتي تخدمي في الموبيلي. And I was like, yeah. So apparently, like the people pass your number sometimes when they need houses, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It happened that one guy who said, yeah, I think I know a girl who has a bike. She did a viewing for me. She's Algerian. She had a bike. She's brune. I think her name was Hadjer. And then he went on WhatsApp. He said, is this her? And he said, yes. So he grabbed the phone from his hand, took my number, and called me at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
Never miss a chance, my guy.
Never miss a chance. What a legend.
But then,
Shout out to this
I respect
guy.
the effort,
Shout out to this
the effort.
guy. What happened next?
But look at the mentality, yeah? And he says, so, أنا ناوي الحلال, and I really liked you, and I really don't think you should be on a bike. So I'm going to ask you to stop riding bikes.
And that's from first.
Straight away, bro. Straight to the point.
That's you,
second or third
without
time
even
called.
you agreeing whether you could be with a guy or not.
Yes, look, you see, I am still someone, I don't like to say no straight away. I'm like, خليني لازم تفهم روحك, خليني نطبع فيك, انت تفهم روحك, تفهم روحك, أنا حتى نقول لك, you know. So the guy was just calling me every day and stuff, and he's like, oh, by the way, you should stop riding a bike. قلت له شوف, قلت ما طلع لي الغاز للراس.
That's it.
قلت له
You're a controller.
لو كان شفتني نمشي في الطريق في الزنقة نمشي and you just crossed, would you stop me and talk to me? He said no. Exactly. So the reason why you spoke to me is because I was on a bike.
Exactly. So.
That was what attracted you to me, right? He said, yeah. I said, why would you kill someone's hobby like that?
Exactly.
You know, like, why would you kill someone? It's my drive. Leave me for someone who accepts to be with me while I have a bike.
Me as I am.
That's it. Thank you.
Isn't
I
it?
like this. This one I like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Leave it for someone who would probably enjoy me being a bike.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you don't like that, just go for someone. It's the same mentality we have in Hdjer. انت ما تحبش وحده اللي ماشي دايره حجاب, روح لوحده ديريكت دايره حجاب.
نو احنا مجتمع ذكوري, you know. في البلد احنا مجتمع ذكوري, حاسين نقولها بزاف.
انا دائما اقول له احنا مجتمع ذكوري.
صحيح, عندنا يعني معك
احنا مجتمع تعال يميل للراجل بزاف.
الراجل بزاف تيوم.
ولازم هو رايه اللي يجوز.
Exactly.
قاعد مجتمعنا مش غير مجتمعنا, مشي في الطريق حتى في العائلة. اوكي, على كل حال كان بعض العائلات مش كيما الاخرين, بصح اغلبيه علي فامي الجيريان البنت ما عندهاش, ما هيش حاجه كبيره في الدار.
I got this guy, yeah. He got married with this girl, and like she had a nice job, you know. And then like when he married her, he accept that like okay, yeah, she said like, I have to work, you know. And then when they got married, after that like couple of months, he stopped her from work, and after that, bro, he was starving, both of them.
Wow.
There's no food, they cannot pay the rent. Hamar.
This is Hamar.
I said, why, bro?
If I was him, do you know what I'm going to do? Okay, she's the only opportunity. She's almost like a business for me. So I need to invest in this business. Exactly. I need to work for this business. I need to develop this business because that's how I'm going to live.
Hamar. That's
هو شاف الايجو تاعو اللي شاف باللي لا
نظام هو
اللي شافها هي يطلع عليها, فاهم, هو ما حملهاش.
Sometimes it's not just ego. Sometimes it's just because of like my family, they don't want that, you know, like
yeah,
you know, like we have, maybe you don't have it that much in Algeria, but we have that a lot.
No, they do.
I think my dad used to be the best dad.
Really?
Do you know what? As a kid or as a girl, I always had something to say, and he would always let me say it.
Nice.
Whether he agrees or disagrees, he would let me say whatever I thought, and then he would tell me what he thinks about it. When we sit down, we always have a meal together. Like dinner is always together. ما كانش هذا اللي ياكل وحده ولا اللي
I like this. That's a real family spirit. Yeah, I like that.
And everyone shares what happens in their day. Everyone.
Communication, bro. I like that.
وش صار لك, like, oh yeah, and he lets everyone talk. And then he would tell us what we think. And he's the guy who would never be like, okay, you know what? It's a man's world. But do I really have to put them down? No. Let them be. ما ندخلش روحي مع الدراما تاع women. ما ندخلش روحي. My mom, my sister, my wife. I love you all and I don't care about what you do. You guys, if you have drama, I'm out of this. You're right. Yes, you're right. You want to be right? Yes, you're right. Everyone is right. And that's it.
That's how it should be, you know. Just giving you a course. And speaking about the fact that your dad have let you talk and have let you finish whatever you want to talk about, though, regardless whether you're going to be wrong or right, I think that's the way through to teach your kids how to communicate. This is very important. I like what you brought up. Well, I've noticed, I was talking to Hamad the other day about it. We've spoken about all these things, you know. Us Algerians, the way that we grew up, right? We grew up in a way that
جبت لي كوموند طفي الضوء.
Yes,
جيب
okay.
كاسمة.
Yes, that's one of the things. And also we grew up in a way that as a kid, like talking loudly within a group of people, elders, is considered rude. Do you know what I mean? So as a kid, your father will be always saying to you, "Shh, So you as a kid, you're scared. If you see us Algerians, we're so bad in camera. We're so bad in camera. If someone in like cameras, like if you see the YouTubers when they go on the street and they encounter people can barely, they struggle to talk because they're not used to this, you know. While it should be, when you teach your kid, when your kid is young or your girl is young, so you go like, you teach them how to communicate and how to deal with people, and you basically tell them that talking to people is normal, is a part of life. So when you have a guest, you'll be like, son, daughter, this is our guest, this is my daughter, take a seat. Yeah, you it's like you live in the room, you leave your son then or your girl with your guests and talk to them. Us other way around. عمك جاهز تغزل ما تهدرش. I grew up like this myself. I grew up. I thought it's haram to talk or something like that when I was young. I thought it's against the law.
I mean,
my dad never taught me how to communicate.
I mean,
Never.
this age, 34, and
No way you. Wait, what? You 30? No.
I swear
man.
to God, I'm 34.
Impossible.
I swear to God. You know, listen, in this age, I go.
How old are you?
32.
No.
What are you talking about?
I thought I was way older than you guys.
No, we're older than you. You said that earlier. Like, I did not want to bring it out.
Yeah,
You
me
said that.
too.
If you have,
I said,
I'm
yeah.
like, she
know.
doesn't know we're older than her. Yeah, carry on.
I'm 31. Okay, that's really good.
So you feel better now.
You feel better now, yeah.
I feel way. 34.
I'm 34,
You
yeah.
must be kidding.
Yeah.
You have a baby face.
Yeah, I do. A lot of people, they say that, to be honest. Wallahi, listen, yeah. I go home,
Yeah.
and if I wear like a jean, like his rib, my mom, no, Hamada, please take it off. You hear your family, the neighbor, you know, my mom,
people.
I'm 34, like, please. I left home, so to do whatever I want. I don't want, like, in this age and someone control me, like, say this. I always have arguments with her. Always, when I go home. My father is quiet guy. He don't say nothing.
Aww.
He don't talk. He don't like, you know, like he's just a quiet guy. But my mom, she talk. She always say that, like, oh, don't wear this, don't do this, you know. I hate it about it. Honestly, I hate that.
Aww.
That's how we grew up in Algeria, you know. But yeah,
Is that still working?
I think so.
Yeah. So I was going to
Yeah.
bring something before we finish it. We've just got a few minutes left. I was going to bring something. It's very important for the audience. So,
Are you liking it so far?
Huh?
Are you liking it so
I
far?
love it. Yeah.
It's another level, isn't it?
Huh?
Like, it's another level of.
Yes. I think
Minds.
it's very rare to find Algerians like yourself. I told you that we've spoken about this
I
earlier.
swear to God, I was going to say.
We try to get so many people in the podcast. Yeah, the podcast business is almost dead in Algeria, right? We try to get a lot of people, but they just could not do it. We start 5 minutes and they are like, "Oh, no, bruv, it's just a podcast. Just relax."
Yeah, just
You
have
know
a
what I mean?
ping pong conversation.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, because you see, we're not used to. We get so scared. Oh, be careful what you're talking about. I mean, anyway, so I went to Algeria, right? And why I'm doing this? I feel like I'm imitating Andrew Tate, you know. And I don't like it, and I don't like him. You know? So I went to Algeria, right? So I spent like a month. I told you I stayed in this nice hotel and all of that and all this stories. So I wanted to check I wanted to see if I can start a company there. So I went to this thing. I don't know what's it called. مش عارف كيف يعيطوا لها. Anyway.
لانساج.
لا ماشي لونساج، ماشي للبنكة، ما رحتش لتاع الدعم، رحت لواحد المؤسسة تاع اللي بتعاون المؤسسة الناشئة. من رحت عنده سقسيتهم قلت لهم دي كيفاش ندير، عاوز ندير، راه عندي ان بروجي، وقالوا لي صح، قالوا لي اسكو لو بروجي تاعك از كرياتيف ولا انوفونت، اسكو كرياتيف ولا انوفونت؟ قلت لهم شنو لا ديفيرونس؟ قال لك بيان سور كرياتيف حاجه زعما حاجه ما كاش، حاجه جديده كرياتيف، ولا انوفونت حاجه ديجا اكزيستي فوالا كابو في الاوروب، وتجيبها عندنا لالجيري وتطورها ونعاونوك حنا ونعطوك كريدي وروح تشوف بلا 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 بلا. عجبتني انايا، قالوا لي وحنا نديروا كاع لي بروسيدور ما تخممش. هاي قلت لهم صح، قالوا لي بصح بشرط، قالوا لي المؤسسات الناشئه بطريقه اخرى تدخل الدوله معك تبدا تسال معك. واو هاو اوكي يو ليسن ذس يا. قلت له كيفاه؟ قال لي شوف، قال لي دير المؤسسه، دير ريجيستر كوميرس تاعك، وجيب لي ماشين تاعك تبريباري كل شيء، قال لي نعطوك كريدي لي زانتيري 100%.
ماي جاد
اسمع هذه مليحه. قال لي نعطوك مليار ترد زوج، نعطوك 5 ترد 10. Okay, and I'm like, wow, that's huge.
Even the UK is not like that.
I'm like, that's a huge interest. قلت له لي زانتيري بزاف. قال لي وما تزيدش فاني، قال لي لو فات، قال لي اللي سلفنا لك دراهم اوتوماتيكمون ندخلوا معك 50% في البزنس، نبقاو نسالوا معاك توك
Forever.
اي صاير غير كيما جيت عندك هاجر قلت لك راني بنبدا بروجي سلفي لي دراهم، تقول لي شوف البروجي تاعك شحال مقيم، نقول لك مليون، تقول لي هاك شحال دراهم وميم طون نبقى نسال معك 500 في البنك تاعك. لو فات اللي سلفت لك صاي اوتوماتيكمون I got stocks from you, I got shares, I'm a shareholder. هي قاعد نقولوا هذه وهذه بالعقليه، هذه السياسه الاقتصاديه كنت بكري كنت في الاتحاد السوفيتي، هذه اسمها الشيوعيه. راك فاهم الشيوعيه تقريبا انت عندك بصح تبقى تسال معك الدوله. ملي حنا في الجيري صا اكزيست مات خلعت على كي قال هذا. بار كونتر لو ماروك ولا هنا سي ان مارشي ليبر.
هنا عندك 3 ways of investment. You have 3 ways of investment. Déjà, first of all, government will never
be
it's
part
private.
of business.
It's
That's
private.
it. That's
like
you
businesses
own
are
everything.
private.
Yeah.
It's a different entity. It's completely different. The government doesn't want to do nothing with it. Yeah. Second, 3 ways of investment. The investment يكون private. سواء 50-50. سواء percentage. سواء كيش نقول 50-50 انا ندخل بدراهمي وانت تدخل بالمعرفه تاعك ونتقاسموا 50-50 everything. ياك this exists.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
تدخل بالمجهود تدخلي بالدراهم.
لا هذه هي this exists. عندك الكابيتال like the return on investment شغل تعطيني 5000 نرجعك 6.
اوكي.
ما يهمش واش ندير بهم دراهم.
فهمتك.
like ما يهمش. وعندك another one which is like the teaching شغل ندخل معك بصح تعلمني at the same time باش نقعد نخدمهم at the same time باش ندير معك. literally train me ولا asset يعني كاين شوف الاولى كي تعطي 50-50 في البروفيت ماشي في الاونرشيب. 50-50 في البروفيت. البروفيت كي معني البروفيت معناتها الخساره تاعي ثانيك. return on investment 10% 20% regardless. last one you own عندك الاونرشيب بصح ماشي بين 3 على ضربه. هذوما like the 3 in 1. شو اللي الاكزامبل عطيته لي 3 in 1.
I know that's how bad is that.
I'm داير معك 50% في البروفيت. راهم دايرين الاونرشيب تاع البيزنس وكعطي لهم تانيك 100% of return on investment.
You see how
the 3 of them.
But why is that?
هذه for startup because that's هذا هو هذه الشيوعيه.
Yeah but
هذه كاين راسماليه شو هي هذه هي شغل لي غوفرنمون تاع سيرتان بيي يحاولوا باش يكونترولوا كاع المارشي يكون في يدهم. هذه يكون عندك ستوكس مع هذا ستوكس مع باش يكونترولي المارشي يكونترولي لي بري. انا مانيش نقول لك they do that because in a bad way because of corruption. No. But for them it's a way to make money.
Yeah.
To make the country better. We don't know if that works or not. Seeing numbers in the world doesn't really work. كنت شوف قاعد دول قاعد يبي واللي عندهم هذول الاستراتيجي تاع اللي يخدموا هذول قاعد دول فاشله. منها الروس منها ايران دول فاشله.
واحد ما يقدر ينفست.
الجيري حنا الجيري كيما هكا. بار كونتر لو ماروك كنت تبغي دير مؤسسه ناشئه كيما هنايا مارشي ليبر دير على روحك تبر راسك روح في الجيري نو. تبغي دير مؤسسه ناشئه لو كانت حاجه كرياتيف تديها لك الدوله باش تبقى هي تسال فيها ماشي انت. ودعمك الدوله ودير دراهم وتعيش غايه وما خصك والو تولي ملياردير ونورمال كاع. بصح تاهي تبقى توجور الدوله تسال في هذيك في ذيك اليدي اللي بدات مش تاعك. You will never build a legacy. Never.
To never have 100% ownership.
Never. The government will control it somehow. Will have the right to deal with it somehow.
ثم لا تحوس you cannot apply from a loan from the government. ديها روحك لما دراهمك
in Algeria,
I don't think they want you to have it privately.
Is one of the worst things to do in Algeria. Probably having having a startup company. I mean, the best thing in Algeria is being a middleman. Just try to be that middleman. You know what I mean? Because having a startup company is just
What? Consultancy. Consultancy.
Consultancy is not really a big thing in Algeria, you know.
No, I mean middleman.
Yeah, being a middleman, just like instead of starting a company and creating that product, just buy it and sell it,
Yeah.
or just see how you can sort it or market it somehow. You know what I mean? That's the way through. So that's it was I was thinking about to start like making a product I want to talk about, and then I was thinking to bring my stuff from China, like all the machinery and all that. But now I found someone who sells that product. You know what I mean? And I made a deal with him, and I'm just gonna resell it. Simple as that.
Oh yeah. You can do that. You can do that.
Easy for yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because في البلاد ستارت اب كمباني ديروا لي شروط تعجيزيه. شروط تعجيزيه.
Yeah.
شروط تعودي don't do it, mate.
Here it's called sourcing. It's called sourcing here.
Sourcing, yeah.
Sourcing, like you source something, like you source a business, you source a property, you source an idea, you source. So let's say, for example, someone has one thing, the other person doesn't have it but wants it, but they don't know each other. So, or let's say, for example, now in property, I don't want to do the calling and finding a property myself and just go do the viewings and have the analytics and make sure that the numbers stack and what's the return and how much investment I will need, and it's too much work.
Too much of a hassle, yeah.
Yeah. So what I do, I find a sourcer whose job is to do this. I give him £3,000. You find me a property that's lucrative, that's going to generate me an income, and within 3 whatever. God numbers of weeks, that will give me enough money to cover your sourcing fee. نخلصك أعطيك 3,000 وأنا ندي هذيك البروبرتي وأنا نخدم في هذيك البروبرتي.
Yeah.
So the middle
Exactly.
person.
Yeah. So yeah, I think sourcing in Algeria is better than having a startup company.
I'm
That's what I
thinking to
believe.
jump into tourism.
Huh?
I'm thinking to jump into tourism.
Don't talk about
Tourism. I think this is
have a lot
a
of
complete
idea.
another
Oh
topic.
really? Why don't you do it?
I can't wait. The thing, like, to do it in Algeria, Sino and we was thinking about I got a guy back home, he's my cousin. He's got a travel agency, and like he do Hdjer and he do like a lot of things. We asked him to give us his name.
A franchise. We wanted a franchise.
Ah.
And he said like, no.
No.
He said like, bring me people and I will give you a profit. I said, no, I'm not going to bring
he
you
said-
people from Europe and you're going to take everything and you give me like, like £100. No. But
So he just wanted that to promote his business somehow and to give him the clients, and then
Why
we
don't
take-
you open a complete?
and then
Yes,
we take
that
commissions.
that it takes a lot
Well,
of
to take for
time.
me that means I have to move back home.
Well, you want it?
Nah, but I'm not ready to move back home now.
That I want to do it.
That's the thing.
I'm gonna
But
do
franchise
it.
I can
In the
do. I
future,
can
I'm gonna do
franchise.
it.
Same as
I can
well.
franchise.
Do you know what I want to really invest in? Is the Sahara tourism.
It's
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Call me later, please.
Sahara is the way through nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah? And did you know it's visa free now?
I know, yeah, I've heard
Yes,
recently,
yes,
which is
it's
amazing.
Visa free.
You know what's the
It-
problem?
before it was only Algerians who could get through to the Sahara.
Now
Now
an
it's-
Englishman can fly to Tamar Rasset
Straight
without
away.
any visa.
No way.
Yes.
He gets
It's visa
stamped
free.
in the airport.
That's it. Go in the airport, get stamped, go visit. It's not like before. Before, people do not really like going to visit Algeria because they have to go apply for visa and shit like this. Bureaucratia too much. But now, lately,
It's
in the past few
visa-free.
months, it's visa free.
And do you know, Sino, plus when you go with a tourist, like for example, I go with George, you have to report that where you're going to the police station
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Every time you go, for your safety though.
By the way, George is a character.
George is
he
a
called me
character.
just now.
If he was here,
Oh my
called
God.
me
Like, George is, I mean, I love George.
Yeah,
he's a
he's-
character. He's an Algerian man,
He's
you know.
Algerian,
He
he's-
talks about shaman. I'm like,
You saw that videos for sure.
everything, bro.
Right. It was really nice to have you, Hadjer.
Aw, thank you so
Literally. It was
much.
one of the best episodes I could ever do.
Wallahi,
Like, I was really like, I was having a nice. Especially
enjoyed it.
It's a bit warm and hot in here,
Yeah.
and
It
it
is,
gave me
right?
that dizziness. You know, I feel high somehow. You know what I mean? Do you get me? So I was really enjoying it.
Listen, I really am glad. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I'll be happy to return the favor and just you guys come to my
That'd be very
studio
nice. That'd be
and
very
we'll
nice.
talk about a lot of things.
Anytime.
And you know, I mean, it's been a pleasure.
Just
Yeah.
a message to all the women, you know. See Hdjer, you can make it. Stop,
Look at
like,
Hdjer.
you know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. I
You
mean,
can
look,
make it.
women, especially women, because I love when we inspire each other and when we like, because the most things you see right now is being attacked. Like we attack each other quite a lot. There's no reason for that. Like we recently had ضربة مع
I know, I know,
it's
I know.
just horrible, right?
That's all what you see in social
I know.
media.
That's it.
I know.
That's it.
Nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no support. So I would really love it if to see women supporting women, and if anyone, any girl, even guys, like anyone needs support, more than happy to help. More than happy.
There
Right.
we go.
Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. We see you next
Hdjer,
time. Salam
come
alaikum.
in.
Ah, time's over, guys.
Oh my God.
That was amazing.